Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm Skratch. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, I got a sweet, juicy one for you today. I actually made a video on the 15x progressive chance event for the Pair of Clove event, right? And I was talking about Blizzard, how he's good for the Sand Devil. But then I started seeing a few comments. He can solo Amius. He can solo Amius. And I was like, what are these people talking about? Then I've seen a couple of my clanmates talking about it, and I was like, okay, let me give it a go. But then I decided to make sure that I'm gonna check if somebody posted the video, not to don't give the credit to the right person. So I've actually seen who made the video on it, and that is Bronco, guys. Big shout out to him. I'm actually going to link his video in the pinned comment, and I'm gonna show you what I'm doing now. He's doing quite a few things differently, and I'm gonna explain you a few things as well that he was not sure why they are happening. So please head over to his channel and drop him a subscribe. Let's help him to get to 8,000 subscribers, guys. Let's help him to get to 8,000 subscribers. If you go and drop him a subscribe just like this and a like on the video, I will greatly appreciate it. But leaving that on the side, moving over to Amius. So right here, I know we talked about it, guys. I know we talked about it before. And I've told you, you don't need to have Georgit at +4, right? To be able to get a low turn count on the boss. And I've told you I'm going to show it to you in a different video. That's what I used. My Georgit is not empowered. He's only a 4-star. Was a lot of RNG to get it down to 7 turns. But how I mentioned, Georgit has that crazy passive that ignores a lot of defense. Leaving that on the side, what we are focusing on right here is Blizzard soloing the boss. Now, how you may notice, I have a speed lead and I have 2 allies in my team. Now, I'm going to explain you in a second why I have all that once we're going to get to the Masteries. But let me just quickly explain you first what is happening. So you're going to have to manual this, and all you got to do is make sure you are only using the A1. You do not want to use the A2. You do not want to use the A3. So the whole idea, guys, is that the boss at a point will get to realize that he can one-shot you. So the reason why this is happening is for the exact same reason why the clan boss has a stun target, and it's the same way you can manipulate that stun target. The whole idea is that the boss will be under the impression that he can one-shot you. But that only when your HP will be low, okay? Before that's the case, he will actually use his skills because he knows he cannot one-shot you. But once he's strict and he thinks that he can one-shot you, he thinks that he has enough firepower to do it, that's when he will start to use only the basic skill against you on the first form. It all has to do with the idea that the boss thinks that he can one-shot you. Now, because you will have high defense, you will mitigate some of the damage that he deals. The only thing that he is looking at is your HP. So because your HP will trick him to think that you're going to be able to get right by him, he will only use the basic skill. Now, if you bring any debuffs against him, that will change. If you have any buffs, that will change as well, because increased defense, block damage, and killable, even StatFast as a mastery could potentially affect this. I actually haven't tested that, but I'm just kind of like thinking about it. That is seen like almost like a mastery. So how you may notice, from here on, he thinks that he can one-shot us. So what he's going to do is just use the basic skill. That's the reason why he's doing it, okay? Now, because our HP level stays pretty low, and before it increases, he's changing form. Now, when he's changing form, he's always killing us once. We come back to life, we take a turn, the buff expires. So then, we are again back on low HP. The boss will think that he can actually kill us. How you may notice, A1, 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 A1. So that's basically how this strategy works. And I'm pretty convinced that there are other heroes that can do it, and it's not just Blizzard. I'm talking about heroes that can basically come back to life in a 4-turn cooldown. I'm pretty convinced that any revive on that champion can do it. I'm pretty convinced that every revive on that champion can do it just because of that. Hell, I'm actually thinking that even Godseeker and Eerie could do it. I see no reason why that that won't be the case. But again, you gotta make sure she is not healing more than she should. So you see, our HP always stays under 50%. And before it goes over the 50%, the boss is changing form and he starts dealing proper damage on the second form. And that's when Blizzard will die once, he's coming back to life, his HP is again under 50%, the boss deals damage, changing form, he's streaked, he thinks he can one-shot us, he's getting very close to one-shot us with his crit hits, but he just doesn't have enough firepower because we have high defense, you know? So that's the whole trick. There's no secret in the coding to it. It's just basically how the clan boss targets as well. So, for example, when you're tricking the clan boss with a stun target, you have him in between 16% HP and less than the rest of the team. And he will always be the stun target. Now, here is pretty much the same sort of principle. If that stun target in the clan boss will go under the 16% HP, the boss will change the target, okay? Here is not the case because he doesn't have any other options, you know? So just so you understand how this works, you know? That's the whole trick, and it's actually a very interesting one. I was not thinking to even attempt to do this because I haven't thought that the boss will actually get tricked to just use the A1. Now, in all of the previous videos that I've made on this boss, every time I've noticed something weird. Either he's not using the A2 on his second form if I don't have the right buffs on, either he's not using his A3 if I don't have the right debuffs on, etc. So he's a bit wonky with the actions that he's taking, and this is pretty straightforward, guys. This is how the run works. It's basically you come in here and you just A1 the boss till he gets bored, until you get bored and kill him. And it takes approximately, with my build, it approximately takes, I would say, less than 10 minutes. Now, I've been talking quite a bit, so I haven't been focused so much on just spraying the A1, because that's all you need to do. Just don't use the A2, the A3, just target the boss, click on the boss, and that's it. If we would have presets, this would be done on auto. But for whatever reason, Plarium decided not to give us team presets for this game mode, and it's actually annoying for every single team that you're running not to have the presets. How you may notice, we are 5 minutes in, and we are almost at 50% HP. And as long as you're not messing it up, the boss will not do anything else. He will just constantly prioritize the A1 when he is on the first form. As simple as that, guys, you know? Look at that. Pretty beautiful, right? It's actually a very solid strat. So again, GG's to Bronco for even trying something like this, because I honestly wasn't gonna think to try something like this. So there we go. He actually killed us now on the second form, but we have no buffs. We took a turn right before he took another turn, so that shouldn't be a problem. I'm pretty convinced that buffs will affect it, you know, because if you let it go on auto and he's using the A2, the A3, that creates issues. Even without Brimstone, you know, Brimstone will be a debuff, so that will trigger his other skills, you know. I'm not sure why. That just has to do with the coding with the buffs and debuffs, but that's wonky on the boss, you know. If you don't have decrease attack with enough debuffs on, he's not going to use the skill on this form, you know. He's not gonna do it. Then if you don't have a few extra buffs, specific buffs like increased speed or shield, when he's changing form, he will not use one of his skills, and he will change the order. So I feel like he's a bit wonky. He thinks he's a smart boss, but he might not be as smart as he thinks he is, you know. I think that's the trick with him. You might think he's smart, but he's not that smart, you know. So how you may notice, I don't have any masteries that are giving me healing or anything like that, you know. And it's just pretty straightforward, man. Pretty straightforward. I'm actually going to try a few different champions in the next few days. I'm gonna see who has revive on that from the ones that are available, because I haven't really checked it just yet. But I literally see no reason why it would not work with any other revive on that champion, as long as he's on a 4-turn cooldown like his passive. Now, my Blizzard is not booked, okay? I have probably no books in him whatsoever, and I don't need books for the A2. I don't need books for the A3. I don't recall if the passive has a cooldown or no. But even if it does, you don't need the cooldown on that. But most probably it doesn't, you know. So let's just crack on it. You don't need accuracy on him because you're not going to land the freeze, sorry. So the only reason why you would need accuracy on him is if you're using him somewhere else, you know. That's about it. Because I have no brimstone on as well, and when I will use him on the Fire Knight, of course, I will need to build him differently back how he was. But right now, for this showcase, I remove brimstone, and of course, no accuracy. I actually have a Phantom Touch on. Probably you guys are noticing the extra damage, the 2400. I actually increased the attack on the champion, so Phantom Touch deals a bit of extra damage. I have Giant Slayer on, which again, it just procs more than War Master. You don't want to have War Master. He's a triple hitter. And the whole idea with the War Master, yes, it works good on the Sand Devil if you're soloing that. But for this, you have no reason to keep War Master. You want to farm this faster. You don't want to waste a lot of time. So Giant Slayer will speed this up a lot for you. Now, the one trick is to make sure you're killing him in the right form. This is out of control, unfortunately, because if you're dealing too much damage while he is on this form and you kill him, you're going to start again because he's going to revive with like 50% HP or something like that. And I'm honestly not sure what happens when that's the case. Is he going to start to use the other skills as well on the first form or just A1? Now, this is a lot of RNG with the Giant Slayer procs, Phantom Touch procs, War Master procs, depending on what exactly you have on him. How you may notice, we are getting pretty low and it's getting risky here. So we gotta pray we're killing him on the right form. Thankfully, on this form, he's actually killing us once. He's sleeping us once, so we're missing a few turns, and I feel like we should be able to get him done in the right form. Hopefully, there we go. So as long as I'm not proccing Giant Slayer too often this time around, we should be fine. So 1, 2. Yep. Well, it's like we synced it, you know. There we go. And right now, okay, maybe right now, it should be down. 10 minutes and 21 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. We have 271 turns. Blazer, 5.2 million damage. As simple as that. You don't need to do anything else. And you just need to spray the A1. And pray that you're going to kill him in the right form. Let me just quickly show you the build that I have on him, actually. And how you may notice, he is on a regen set. You will need that. I have a perception because this is the old build that I had on him, so I haven't really changed much. The only thing that I really changed was the banner. I gave him an attack banner just so I have higher attack. So Phantom Touch will deal a bit of extra damage, right? The bonus damage is proportional to this champion's attack. The more attack, the bigger the Phantom Touch hit. So these are the total stats. The one thing that you will need to have is over 250 speed. Now, the reason why I had a speed lead is because I only have 248 speed on him. So once you get him over 250 speed, you're sorted. You're not going to need a lead. You can use an attack lead instead. That will give Phantom Touch even more damage. So I have 76k HP, 4.8k defense. I would strongly suggest you to make sure you have over 4.5k defense. The whole trick with this is that the boss looks at your HP, he sees low HP, he's like, that's it, I'm gonna kill this one. But then the defense that you have is mitigating the damage, you know. The resistance, the accuracy do not matter at all. I have this high resistance and accuracy because of Faction Guardians, the Blessing, then the Great Hall, and I have some from the artifacts as well as substats. That was not really intended, you know. Talking about Masteries. So Masteries, guys, we have offense and defense. Now, you want Giant Slayer. You want to get Single Out. You want to get Whirlwind of Death will not help you, but if Shadow Heal will be on when he heals, because the boss will always heal a bit if you guys paid attention, that might mess it up. I'm not 100% sure, so I wouldn't suggest you to get this, okay? So go for Tough Skin, go for Blast Proof. You receive a bit of less damage from AoE attacks. You can get Retribution, no problem, because that will just deal more damage when he gets counterattacked. I would suggest you, instead of Rejuvenation, to go and get Grim Resolve. This will increase the damage by 5% when he's under 50. And that is pretty much all the time. I just did not want it to pay 150 gems more. Make sure you get Wrath of the Slain. And that's the reason why you have 2 allies in the team. Increases damage inflicted by 5 for each dead ally, stacking up to 10%. You want to have Methodical. This will increase the damage on the basic skill. You want to have Bring It Down. It increases the damage more because you attack targets with higher HP. And you want to have Giant Slayer. As simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. Let me quickly show you the gear piece by piece in case if you are curious. Speed plus whatever else I had on there. Crit rate gloves, just because I want to deal more damage. HP chest with defense, crit damage, bit of attack there. Defense boots, speed, crit rate, crit damage. I have a HP ring. I have a HP amulet with some crit damage. And I have an attack banner. That's it. That's how Blizzard can solo the boss. Now, what I'm curious to see is, do we actually have anyone else that has revive on that that we could potentially try this rotation? We have one as an option. So let's see, that's one. Who else does revive on that? I think that is about it, right? I don't think we have somebody else. Now, if you're bringing in allies, guys, how I had in my team 2 allies, you gotta make sure there's some fodders that will get wrecked and they will die. You don't want them to survive because the boss, most probably, he will not use his A1 only. He will probably start using different skills too. So it seems like we have no other revive on that this time around, by the looks of it. She's risky. You cannot use her because of the passive. The passive fears her, decrease speed. She's not gonna work. Maybe somebody else. No. So this rotation, I'm pretty convinced that Mother Sibel can do it too. I see no reason why she can do it. All you want to do is A1, and before the boss is about to use the A1 on the second form, just put the revive on that. But I just wanted to show you how Blizzard can do it, guys. And basically, every other revive on that champion. Blizzard is not more special than the rest. Big shout out to Bronco again. Make sure you guys head over and check out his video. It will be in the pinned comment. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.